Hi, welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Great to be here with you. We have a special Readers Entertainment Radio for you with the amazing Christine Feehan, who is, we're going to surprise her because we had some technical difficulties when we first started the show up, which is why you don't have music in the beginning. We have no idea what Blog Talk was doing, but what they did do was, in order to have the show, we had to go live as soon as I called in. So Christine thinks that we're about to talk and do an audio check, but really, guess what? Surprise technology. So let's see if we can find her when she calls in.
Sheila?
Hi, Christine.
Yes.
So let me tell you what happened. As you know, because we talked earlier today, first of all, we are already live because there was a mishap on Blog Talk Radio.
Okay.
And technology has not been my friend today. No internet, the problem with the microcell, and I couldn't make a phone call, so I had to go somewhere else to do the show. So I've already let everybody know anything could happen in this show.
Well, it already has.
It already has.
Yes, because I did not let my dog out, so he may go a little crazy on us. And you guys, everybody might be able to hear the fierce barking in the background.
Well, he is a fierce dog. And,
yes,
and if they bark, everybody will know. Well, it's funny because I didn't expect this to happen either. Occasionally, Blog Talk will have a little glitch, and it's usually pretty manageable. But this was either go live or cancel the show for 24 hours. And it's like, no, we are not doing this on Saturday. But there's a weekend planned. But, my dogs are actually outside. I was going to put them all the way to the back, and so you might hear some scratching. I don't know. This is anything could happen kind of a show. So I did let them know that you're here with us, and I think pretty much everybody already knows who you are. But for those who are new to the program, Christine Feehan is the #1 New York Times bestselling author. She's also an internationally bestselling author, and she writes paranormal romance of every flavor. We have Motorcycle Club, and we have Immortal Warriors, and we have leopards, and just everything going on. Ghost Walkers, if you like military romance, the dash of paranormal. I highly recommend that. The Shadow Rider series. So those are assassins who can actually travel using shadows, which is very unique. So, Christine, you just kind of write a little bit of everything, and it's like you have the golden pen because your stuff is amazing. Everybody loves it. I think I heard Desolation Road has hit #2 on the New York Times for like a whole month, right?
Yes, I'm very, very lucky that I managed to hit that for a month. John Grisham is #1 ahead of me, but yeah, so I'm pretty lucky there.
Well, and you have amazing readers. They're so completely loyal, and they seem to be willing to follow you whenever you decide to write some new series. So you're really lucky to have those readers through all the years. You have the online community, so the online community I think really bonds people together. So for those people who don't know, you can go to ChristineFeehan.com. and you'll find where it says community, and you can sign up for that. And it's all Christine, but you can go to the different walls of the different books and have a discussion with other readers. So, if you're speculating as to whether or not Gary is going to have a life mate soon, that is the place to go, because I know all of you want to talk about Gary and the babies, and we'll get to that. But, thank you very much for coming to the show. Sorry we had a glitch, but I'm so glad that you're a pro. You roll with everything that happens, so I appreciate that. I wanted to talk a little bit about Dark Illusion because that just came out. It's in paperback. It was out in hardcover. Now it's out in paperback, and I know a lot of people get the paperback. I actually just saw somebody commenting that they already got the hardcover, but they get the paperback to loan to friends because they're not loaning out their hardcover. I thought that was great. So Dark Illusion, we have Isaiah and Yulia. She's a mage. He's a Carpathian, an immortal warrior. And this book was a little surprising because she was not too hep on becoming a life mate. So that was kind of unusual. Obviously, you always write happily ever after, so we always get a satisfying end. But I had no idea how you were gonna fix that problem through that book. So that was fun. But my question for everyone out there, I know they're curious. Why bring back the mages now?
You know, the mages are a big part of the story of the Carpathians. I mean, they're huge in what transpires with them, and so I don't feel like just like leaving them out of what's happening. Not only that, but clearly when you read this story, you see that they're a huge part of what's happening now, not just in their past, and that there's a buildup of something big going on. So I knew that they had a place in the storyline and that it had to be told, and this was the perfect moment for it. She was a pivotal character, both for the mages and the Carpathians, and for women, which, you know, showing her power. She didn't feel like she had it, but it grew as time went on in the story. So, you know, mages actually are huge in this in these books, and so they can't be forgotten, because if they are by the Carpathians or readers, you can't count them out.
Right. Yeah. You definitely highlight that in Dark Illusion. So now, when you were writing this, what did you like most about this book in particular?
I think it was, for me, the revelation. I mean, just the growth of her understanding that she herself had power. Like all of us, every single person in the world, no matter what we're told about ourselves, we really are powerful. We really can stand on our own 2 feet and overcome whatever was given to us at birth, or, you know, whatever happened to us. We have the ability to get past it. And she was given a pretty bad deal from the very beginning, but she had all these amazing gifts. She didn't believe in herself, and as she began to, and as she grew stronger in her faith in herself, she became more powerful, and she could see that in herself. And to me, that was the biggest lesson about this book, was for everybody to go, you know what? We all have something that we don't like or that we've had to overcome, and we can do it if if we just keep standing up, because everybody gets knocked down. Everybody.
Right.
And you just have to keep standing up.
Yeah, I really like that. I think a lot of people were interested in her story because we met her previously. I think it was Dark Legacy, and you can tell that there was more to her. I mean, she was very brave. She remained behind to help Elizabetta, and at a big expense to herself. So I think a lot of people, she was this mystery character that you finally brought out in Dark Illusion, and I do love the whole kind of nature versus nurture, how she overcomes so many, not just her life experience, but some misconceptions that she had about herself and the Carpathians. It's a beautiful story. I absolutely love it, and there's a lot of action. There's a lot of action going on in this book too. And the Shadow Cats, which are a reader favorite, and you've had the Shadow Cats before. Where did the Shadow Cats come from?
Well, I've obviously loved cats in all various forms, and I created them years and years ago, and I always knew that they were going to play a huge part in what Xavier and his crew had thrown at and the mages had thrown at the Carpathians. And there was this big plot afoot against them, and the Shadow Cats were a big part of that. So she had to be they were throughout the books. The Shadow Cats were.
Right.
And I felt so bad for them. Like they came up occasionally in other books, and you could see that they were suffering, and nobody could really do anything for them. So this was my big chance to go, all right, what are we going to do? How are we going to save them, or are we going to get rid of them? So,
Yeah, people love this Shadow Cat. Now, I have to ask this question just because I know the readers out there are asking it, and I'm just curious as to how in the world you'll answer it. But what in the world are you doing with all these babies? When are we going to have, the Carpathian baby reunion?
I am so amazed at I get so many letters about babies. It's insane, and that's not just on Carpathians. That's every single series. I can write 2 books in a series, 2, and there'll be like 20 more books expected, and there'll be like 300 letters asking for babies on those 2 books. And I'm like, what the heck? What is wrong with you people? You all have baby fever. Is there hormones going on? Is the moon in full or some? I don't understand it. I don't write young adult. I write blazing hot books. How does one write baby books when you write blazing hot books? I mean, how does that work? I've had lots of children. Do you know what happens when you're in a bedroom and you have lots of children? First of all, they all come in the bed with you, like they just do. They don't understand privacy. And then when they get to be teenagers, they go outside your window and they sing, "You've got that lustful feeling." This is not a big turn on when you're in the bedroom trying to do something. So babies do not thrill me when I'm writing. Let's just get that straight.
Okay, no baby books. no baby books in the immediate future.
Well,
but of course, I had to tease you a little bit because I do know. I do see on social media and such that
oh my God, it is like endless, endless.
Well, but I think that's a testament to how strongly people feel about the characters. It's truly, when I read some of those posts, it's like they think these people are real, or they have an emotional attachment to them, like they might a real person, and I think that really talks to how well your character development is when you're writing. So I know it's kind of funny and we laugh about it, but in a way I think that's a compliment, even if you don't want to write about babies.
I really do take it as a compliment, but don't you think that these people deserve, if they've just gotten together, to have at least 2 or 3 years of a great sex life?
Well, sure. How else are we going to get all those babies?
That's touche.
I know. I just love it. I'll be good. So I know everybody is really excited about Dark Song. They've been waiting since Elizabeth was discovered, and that's been a little while. You put her in the ground because she needed to heal, and she had befriended, or however you want to look at it, Yulia befriended her. Those two became close. So I kind of, as a reader, just thought Yulia needed to come first, but and that's what you did. But that means we had to wait a whole other year to find out about what happened to this long-lost Carpathian. I mean, she's not just a Carpathian woman, which is rare enough, but she has been lost for centuries. So I know it comes out September the 1st. You said this is one of the most romantic books you've written, but Pharaoh, who we already know is going to be her life mate, is one of the darker ancients. Can you talk a little bit about the romance in this?
Well, she was just really, in terms of Carpathians, she was a child when she was taken. She was only 16. So although she had gifts already, she really was not, she was a baby, really. And when he took her, and she just simply disappeared, no one could find her. Her brother searched and searched and searched through the centuries for her, but she simply disappeared. And her life was horrendous, and the only one who she had any real contact with was the one who took her, and he was so awful to her. And so she didn't learn to do anything. She doesn't know how to do anything. And she wasn't allowed to speak unless he gave her permission. She wasn't allowed to anything. Like, she totally would be what one would consider a true submissive in every way. And she's terrified of being out in the open because she's never been in the open. She doesn't know how to do anything for herself. And then here she has this life mate who is like considered, he's one of the oldest and the most feared. And she knows that. She knows what is expected of a life mate, and that's terrifying. And then it's terrifying that she knows that this vampire is out there trying to get her back, and he's telling her that he will kill everybody, including these children, if she doesn't come back to him. I mean, everything is stacked against her. And she doesn't even know how to do her own clothes. And they're expecting her to be this modern woman. Everybody is. And she doesn't know how to do any of that stuff. And so honestly, when I went to write this book, I was like, oh my God, how is this going to work? And it's funny when you do something like that, because I don't plot out a book. I just start writing because it's like this grand adventure for me. That's how I read. I want the author to take me on this great journey, and it's the same way I write. If I've already plotted it out, then I read the book already. So then I don't want to write it. So I start writing, and he is like a real life mate. Like whatever she needs, that's what he provides. And oh my gosh, it was like heart-wrenching and beautiful.
Yeah. Well, he was definitely surprising. I guess I had expectations, and the whole book, there's so much in it that when you read someone all the time, and I'm sure readers will agree, you get in your mind things like, oh, I think she might be leading us in this direction, and I actually like it when I'm wrong, and it's not so much being wrong, but you really took it in places that I never even would have imagined myself, which it was refreshing, it was exciting, and I really, really loved it. Now, readers are going to keep asking about her brother, they are, and those who are on their way to the U.S., I'm sure you hear a lot about that. Will we hear about any of those characters in this book?
Yes. Obviously, I mean, how could her brother not come the minute that he knew that she was found? And anybody who loves Joseph, he definitely is a big part of this book. He is in the group that comes with her brother. There's a lot of things going on in this book, and Elizabeta is amazingly strong. She does not realize how strong she is. Her life mate does. He knows how strong she is.
Yeah. Now, I just want to remind people one more time that Dark Song comes out September 1st. You can go ahead and pre-order it for those of you who like to do that. Is there anything else? Because we're going to take some questions. There were some questions on the Christine Feehan Books fan club on Facebook. I want to thank Tina who runs that. They just hit 21,000 members, and she does a phenomenal job with that fan group. And I asked them if they had questions for you, but was there anything else that you wanted to say about Dark Song before we switch gears?
I just felt like this particular book was one of it for me. Writing it was very different and beautiful, and it also highlighted. The Carpathians actually ended up in some ways themselves choosing sides, and they were having some problems between themselves, which does not happen. And so it was a very, at times, stressful book for me to write, but never between the couple. It was really, really beautiful and emotional. And I do hope that anybody who loves Carpathians would try this book because I really, truly believe that you will love this one.
Absolutely. And that's what people are attracted to. I think of Dark Prince in the very beginning. I love the mythology. The world building is phenomenal, but it's the chemistry between the two life mates, and this one was just it truly was beautiful. This may be my favorite Carpathian book, and it'll be interesting when readers get a chance to read it to see what the comments are, because you're right. There's some intense stuff in this book that was unexpected. So, I have a list. I can't do all of the questions because we're down to like 5 minutes. Although we could keep talking, they wouldn't hear us until they listen to the podcast later. But let's see. Jamie Lynn Hansen. So I would like to know how you came up with the series, because I know a lot of research goes into the books in regards to location, character names, etc. Let's just start with that. How did you come up with the series?
I used to tell stories. I was dungeon master all the time with my oldest son, Calvert, and we played, that all the time. He loved that. And then I lost him many years ago in a accident, and it was very, very difficult for me. I used to tell him stories about vampires and Carpathians, certainly not anything to do with sex. And it was very hard for me. I had a lot of children at the time, and I had to get up and take care of everybody. And I'd had him for about 5 years before I had any of the other kids, so it was always just the two of us. And losing him was very difficult. So I kind of was going through the motions and not feeling anything. So that was part of my, writing was always my go-to thing. And I started, I kind of started writing in that world and trying to bring myself back. And that's really where the whole thing of the Carpathians was really born, from that.
Yeah. Now, Jamie also asked, are we going to see any more humans like Gary who will become Carpathian?
That always is very organic. If they show up and they're very close with the Carpathians and something happens to them, then yes. I don't ever know until it happens. I didn't know it would happen to Gary.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't, and I didn't know it would happen to Lewis. I didn't. So you just never know until it really does.
Nikki Sullivan says, I want to know if there will be other books like Dark Celebration.
I never say never. That was a very difficult book to write because there were so many couples in it. Now I have, twice that many couples. So I would have to probably break it down and have this, do sections of couples. So it would just depend upon, where I was setting the book and that kind of thing. And also because I write so many books per year, I would have to, cut out a couple of books in series in order to write a book like that. So I would have to give it a lot of thought.
Right. Now it's going to count down for us. Like I said, the show was kind of dictated to me when we had some issues. I'm going to try one more. Esther Walker. I want to read more about Jacques and how he's doing. Is he feeling stronger, more confident, and fearless now than he used to be?
Absolutely, he is. Absolutely, Jacques is up to par, and he is his brother's right-hand man.
Nice. So I want to let people know the Dark Illusion is out. Dark Song is September 1st. Lethal Game is out in paperback September 29th. Leopard's Rage is November 10th. Reckless Road is February 9th. And 2020, you've already let us know, Lightning Game and Shadow Storm. And that's what we know so far.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Anything that you want to, any shout-outs you want to give or anything you want to say to readers?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it, and I hope to come back again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
You too. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.